Hi guys, it's me. So this is a collaboration that I'm doing with a bunch of fabulous YouTubers. Each of us is going to make an art card. It'll have to be 4 by 4, and each of us has a word. So my word is dream, but I added dream big to it, which is awesome. And that's kind of the theme too. So I wanted to create a really cool background, and I will have the links to all their wonderful videos underneath. I will do an unboxing too because I don't know what they created. So it's going to be super fun. I'm super excited. I love doing mail art. It's so fun. It's just really a good time. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create my background first, and then I'm just going to cut these down to 4 by 4 pieces. So what I have here is masking tape, and this is a piece of just regular white cardstock that I did treat with some of my DIY clear gesso, and I just did that because I really wanted the paint to flow on this page very easily, actually my sprays, and I just wanted it to be a little bit more sturdier, so I brushed that down first and I let that dry. And here I just have some masking tape. Now I love using masking tape in mixed media, and in general, like, I love just using things that you can find around your house in my art. I think that it's fun, it's a challenge. So I'm just going to lay down some pieces here. Now some of these pieces will come up because we're going to cover this with lots and lots and lots of liquid from sprays and from water. So just keep that in mind. You might have to get out your glue stick and just glue it back down after it's wet. But for the most part it does stay attached. Now I'm not putting this in any type of pattern. I just love using masking tape to add texture, so that's what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to fill up this whole sheet just with pieces of masking tape. So it's great. So I can't wait to see what the other ladies came up with. That's going to be fun. So we're just going to fill it up, and I just try to make sure that there's pieces on every 4 by 4 piece that I'm going to make. And I just do them in kind of funny shapes. Like I said, I'm just thinking about creating texture. There's definitely not a right way or a wrong way to do this. So super fun. Just do that. It's such a fun thing, and it's so fun because then you get all these lovely surprises in the mail of beautiful art cards that people made. So it's fun. Very cool. And you know what, I would love to send you guys one of these because we're going to make 8 of them, and I only need to send out 7, but I would love to make one for someone, or to send you one that I've already made. So if you could leave me a comment below and tell me that you would like one, or you'd like a chance to win, and I'll include a little bit of Happy Mail in there too, maybe some napkins and some things that I've made. Then you can just comment below and I will send you off that. Let's say that, how about pick a number between 1 and 300, and whoever is closest to that number and does not go over, that will be the person that wins a little mail pack. That's what we'll do. So I will send you mine. Let's do it that way. Okay, just like that. Okay, so that's what you're going to do, and I do have my blow dryer too, because I am going to have to dry this off. Okay, just like that. Alrighty. Okay, now I am going to take my sprays. These are my Deco Arts ones, but you could use your homemade ones too. I love using my homemade ones, and I make those with just the gel food coloring in it. It works great. I mean, I love it. So I just have 3 colors here that I think will work great. Plus I have white, and I have magenta too. So these are fun. These are permanent, which I love, so they don't move, which is great. So I'm just going to spray, and I do have a water bottle here too. And because I want to move that color around. I don't want it to just stay in one place. So I'm just activating it. And this is just a little spray bottle that I always keep on my table with water, because it's amazing what water does to things. I just love it. And this one does not spray, so we're just going to kind of take that. Oops, oh my gosh. I had lost the little thingy-majiggler. Well, that's not great. It's in there somewhere. That's probably why it wasn't spraying. Right? That's so funny. Always there's an art accident on camera. At least for me. It's like, okay, I made some of these before, no problems, but of course. And then I'll have to do my purple, but I'm wondering if I should do it with, I think I have another purple, so I'll use that one just to not contaminate the colors. I'm going to take that and we'll let it kind of move and merge a little bit. And the one that I did was very, very much purple. So this one I'm going to make not so purple. And I love using that magenta because when it mixes in with the blue, it creates another tone of purple, which is nice. But then I like having some magenta showing through. Let me grab my purple. So this is another purple that I have. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so let's add. But it's great. There's a lot of wonderful artists in this collaboration, so I think you guys are going to enjoy it and seeing all the fabulous things that they create. And I love positive words. You guys know that. Like, it helps, you know. I think what you say to yourself really matters. So when you say, oh, I'm a terrible artist, I can't do that, you know, you start to believe that negativity. So it's great to have to use positive words. And especially when you talk to other people. And I try to do that. I try to be a positive person, you know, because it's so easy to be negative or to get down on yourself. And then I think when you're down on yourself, you're just kind of negative with other people. So it's cool. So I really love this. I thought, what a fabulous idea. Awesome. So you're just going to fill it up as much as you want. Ready? And this looks perfect to me. I love it. Okay. So it has lots of interest. I do want some drips. I want some movement. So I'm just going to dry this off and I will be right back. Okay. Okay guys, so it's all dry and I just want to show you it did kind of flip up a little bit. And I'm going to turn on my light and see if you can see it a little bit better. Sorry, this is a new craft room, so I'm trying to get the lighting right, but there we go. And it has so much sunlight on its own, so now it's like, it was so dark in my other craft room, but this one is has a little too much light, so hopefully you can see okay. I might have to turn that off. But as you can see, some of the paper has rolled up a little bit, so what I like to do is I just get out my old trusty glue stick here, and if you wanted to, you could use the glue stick at the beginning, but I did not do that because some pieces will be just fine with the medium and then some pieces won't, so it's usually not that many. So the masking tape, it just gets water under it and it doesn't stick quite properly, but it's okay if it goes up a little bit. Like this one will go up a little bit and I won't really worry about that. It'll just add some texture. So, but it's really cool, and kind of the tape gets in all these, like the paints and the sprays catch like in all these really cool patterns. So I just love it. And then it kind of looks, if you look kind of at the texture of the masking tape, it creates kind of this really cool effect because the masking tape is textured. So I just love it. I just think it's so fun. So I'm just going to go around. Just do that. And then I am going to be sealing this, so I'm not too worried about it, you know. And I didn't even do this for my other sheet. I just kind of waited and sealed it all, but just to make it easier for you guys, we're going to do it that way. And glue sticks are always great to have around. Okay. I don't use them enough in my mixed media, but there you go. That's the way it looks. Now we are going to add some texture to it. Now how I like to do that is I'm going to do some stamping, and I'm going to do some more stamping at the end when I cut them out individually. So I have this Heidi Swab stencil. It has like all sorts of different texts and stuff, but it's stuck, like the clear part is stuck on the stamp for the most part. So, well, looks like it got heated up, so it's not anymore. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna ink it up, and I just ink up one side first, but it's all this different kind of French script. It's really cool. And I'm just gonna do the text in all different ways because I don't know how these are gonna end up. So I'll do one that way and one this way. Sorry, you can't see, can you? That. Very cool. But it's kind of nice to have that plastic on because it gives me a little bit more grip. So let's maybe do that. I'll put it back on here. And I love textural stamps. I mean, I only have a couple of them, but I use them all the time. And if I say if there's one stamp that you need, it's a text stamp or a script stamp. That's the one that I use all the time. There we go. And let's do one this way. And it just adds something to the background. So that's why I like it. And then I always go on my mat here. Ready? So that's the way it looks. And it already looks 100 times better. Okay? Just like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some splatters. So I have some black from my black sprayer. And you could do this with black paint too. And I'm just going to very, very gently just flick it. And my walls are always full of paint. Oh my gosh, I'm glad this stuff comes out. Because I always have paint all over my hands and everywhere. There we go. Just like that. So you're just going to create as many splatters as you want. Go as crazy as you want. Use as less as you want. Make them as big as you want. Just adds another interest, okay? And you could wait until you cut them down to do this part, but I usually do it now. And we're going to add some white splatters too. So let me just clean off my hands here. And I need to cover up my ink pad. And that was waterproof ink, or archival ink. Alrighty, so let's grab the white sprayer. And if you're ever confused on a work of art, like what it needs, I say add black and white. Always. You can never go wrong with that. It just helps to balance your art. No matter how colorful it is, if it's just going crazy and you don't know what to do, add some black and white. Whether it's to your letters or in splatters or in stencils, that's always the way to go. And when I started mixed media, that was kind of my struggle, and that was just a tip that I figured out, okay? Like that. And then, I love glitter, so I'm going to add some glitter too. Some glitter splatters. So I have this. Okay. And actually, I think I'll just add maybe some drops of glitter paint. I might have to add just a tad of water just to get it going here. Because I just want catches. I just want it to. There we go. And then I'm going to dry this off, and I'm just randomly adding it in there. But I just love having that like pop of glitter that you kind of see at the very end, so that's what I'm going to do. I just love collaborations. It's so fun. You get to find all these wonderful artists, and it inspires you. It's great. All right. So I'm going to dry this off just like this, and then I will be back, and I will have cut these down to 4x4, and I'll show you how we're going to decorate each individual one. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is what they look like. So just lots of texture. And do you see, like with the tape, it kind of has this crackled effect, which I love. So I just love it. It's so cool. And you kind of don't know exactly what it is, which is fun. So I got 4x4 cards, and then I got these two. Okay, so these are extras. And now I like to work individually, okay, like this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get some of my metallic paint, and I'm going to squirt it down. And then I just have this really small little cap. Where is it? Or I had my little small little cap. Okay, well, where is it? Oh, that's weird. Just help. Okay, well, we can use this one. Okay, so we're just going to grab this, and all I'm going to do is just kind of spread this out. Okay, and I'm going to take it, and I just want to put 3 circles. Okay, so kind of an area that looks a little blank, like here is where I'm going to start, and I'm just going to put 3 circles, okay, with the black metallic paint together in a little cluster. Okay. And it just adds something in there. I love using circles. Super simple, especially if you don't have a lot of stencils, and I'm not going to use a lot of stencils for this, because I think, again, that's another thing that kind of holds us back, is I don't have this and I don't have that, and it's like, really, you don't need that much. Only a few things and you're good, you know? So, just like that. Okay. And I love this black metallic paint. I love metallic paints. Craft paints is usually what I do, that grade, and I just love it. It just adds something to it. It adds some shine, just like that. Okay, and then you're just going to let those dry. Okay, so I'm going to put those aside, and we're going to move on to the next one, but I'm just going to let these dry. Okay, and it only takes a few seconds. Perfect. And I don't want to waste this paint, so I'm just going to grab a piece of cardstock here, and I just take my fingers, and I can even add some dots on here, and I can use this paper for something else. Okay, perfect. Alright. Okay, perfect. Grab a baby wipe here, just cleaning off my hands so I don't contaminate. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so what I did is that I got this book from a thrift store, and it's arithmetic. It's an arithmetic book, and I just took this punch that I got from Joann's with a 40% off coupon, and I just punched out a whole bunch of butterflies. Okay, so that's it. But it's cool because it has letters and numbers, which I love, and it's vintage. It's really, really old. It's not worth any money, not that much money at least, but it's definitely great to use, and it has a really cool texture. Now this is the card that we are going to create together, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to grab your card just like that, and then I have some decoupage glue, or you could use glue and water would be fine, or you could even just use your glue stick and that would work too. And then I printed these words out on my computer, dream big, but you could stamp them out too. So again, no worries, just use what you have. That is it. And I am going to grab my glue. And I am going to use decoupage glue, but as I said, you could use whatever glue you had, whatever glue you wanted to use. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to figure out where I want my butterflies. Okay. I'm going to put it up here because I want to do some doodling. So I'm just going to take my butterfly, just like that. Okay. And then I am going to cut apart, bring it in a little bit here, cut apart this. And I just print out a lot of these at once. I know that I needed 8 sets, so that's what I did. And I really love that white, but if you didn't want the white like from the dream from your printer, you could just take some watercolors or some of your spray inks and just brush it on there, and that would color it too. Just like that. Okay. I have this little cap full of love here. I think I'm going to use that. Just going to add that on there. Dream big. Awesome. I'm just going to space that out because I do think that we need to dream big, right? We do. Sometimes our dreams are too small, so we don't trust ourselves. So you just do that, you let that dry, And I put those down first because now I can close up this glue and I'm not going to use it again. Okay, so I kind of think ahead like that sometimes. So this is one that I did before that has dried. Okay. And what I like to do is I have some oil pastels, black, white, and purple. And what I want to do is I have this tape on here, so I'm just going to kind of add a little bit more texture to it with my oil pastels. So I'm going to bring it in nice and close here, so I know that like this is a piece of tape here and so is this. So I'm just going to take my purple first, and I love using oil pastels. I think they're something that is underutilized. And if I just see like some white spots, oops, that's why I kind of like brushing my letters too, because it makes them a little bit resistant to different media, so I don't have to worry about that. And if you wanted to, you could do this after you cut them down and that would work too. But it just adds this little smudgy kind of look to it, which I love. And let's add a little bit of black. Be careful with the black. I think I have another piece somewhere up here. It's great because you can totally feel the texture. There we go. Awesome. And let's just do the blue. We'll just add just a little bit of blue. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on the tape. Just when you're working with that, just be careful to wipe off your hands if you go to another color. That's my only tip. Unless you want it to look a little funny. Which is okay too, but in just spots where I think it needs just a little bit more color, like here, I'm just gonna kind of smudge it out. And you could make straight lines just by going up and down, or you can make circular just to add a little bit more color. So this one I'm gonna turn into circular, just like that. Ready? And as I said, you could do this on a whole scale. That's what I did with the one that I showed you. This one, I just did it while it was all one sheet, and I just went over the tape. But you can see the oil pastel that I put there. And it just kind of gives this really beautiful shadow. And then I'm not going to forget to add white, just because I think that adds something to it. So let's add a little bit of white. And I just love like this. It just gives it like a really smooth, beautiful texture that I love. So that's why I use my oil pastels. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my Stabilo All pencil. Okay, and I'm going to trace around my words and my butterfly. Okay, so let's take that and I love art cards. They're so fun, and you can do so much with them. You can add them to an art journal page. There's just a ton that you can do with them. Just like that. Trace around my butterfly, and then I'm going to do my words here. And it can be a little difficult to go over the oil pastel, so I tried to kind of stay clear of my words and my butterfly for that reason. But it does go on there. And those are just cheap oil pastels that someone gave me. I think you get them at Joann's for a few dollars, and they come with all these great colors. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Deco Arts black and white pen, and I'm going to make little doodles. Okay, so, which I love. Okay, so we're going to take that, and starting from the butterflies, I am just going to make just a swirl there. Then we do one in the middle, just like that, and then I'm going to do one from the tip there. We're going to make it go down like that, okay? Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to let that dry just for a second. I shouldn't have gotten so close to the edge there, but that's okay. Make it work. And then I have my white here, and I just check them before I start using them, right? And then I am just going to make little dashes right over that black, but I just wanted to give it a few seconds to dry. And I do love the Deco Arts paint pens. Sometimes the white can be a little bit transparent, so you might have to go over it a few times, but that doesn't bother me too much. Yeah. It's so hard to find a good white pen, and I do love these because they flow really, really well. and there's quite a bit of product in them, and they go over all sorts of paints, and they're great for outlining. You just might have to go over them a couple times, but that's okay. And you can space out your dashes or your dots as much as you want. Just like that. Okay. And actually I like how that looks. Okay. Awesome. Ready? And then we're just going to activate our white Stabilo. Okay. And I am going to grab this pin here, which is almost doesn't have any juice, but it's a watercolor. I think I got this from the dollar store. It's like for kids, but it works really well as a brush, like a water brush. And take it and so it's completely out of, it's not moist anymore. So I just put it in water and wet it. But the tip is fine enough to where I can outline things really easily. So. Perfect. Okay. This here. But I don't want it too wet. Just kind of want it right. But if you have a water brush, you don't have to worry about that. But with water brushes, I bought one, but I just could never get the hang of how much water to have come out, and then I would wash out all my Stabilo or my water pencil, so yeah. And then I have a little bit of product left on here, so I'm going to kind of go over my butterfly because I want it more shadowed out. Awesome. Very good. Okay, so that's the way that's what we have so far, which I love. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to go around the edges with the black oil pastel. Go and just kind of rub it in a down motion like this. And the oil pastel, once I seal it with my glue, like my glossy decoupage glue, it will be sealed and it will not move around or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about that if you seal it. You could also spray it with an acrylic sealer and that would kind of do the same thing. Yeah, but I like to brush mine on. So I just can't wait to see what wonderful things the other people for this collaboration come up with. It's so exciting. And I'm sorry this video is longer, but I know that my subscribers that I do have, they like to see things like this, especially in real time. So you can put me on fast forward if you don't want to hear me talk. Really, I won't mind, and I won't even know. So I have some of this Collage Podge, and it's in glossy. I love glossy, and I am going to put that on there. I'm just going to dry off the Stabilo, make sure that that's dry. Yeah, there's a little gear, and if you click on that, you can decide which speed you want the video to go. So you can press that, and I will talk faster, and you can put me on mute and kind of watch the process. I really won't mind. Okay? Awesome. Alrighty. Okay, and then this is kind of where it can get tricky. So I just grab a little bit of product and very, very gently, I just kind of dab it on where the Stabilo is, because it can move. See how it moved a little bit there? And then I should not be using this kind of brush, it's too rough. So let me grab a brush that is not so rough for this. But if you really start going, like, it can take a lot of product off. So yeah. And you just kind of want to do it gently, and I should have let it dry more. That's okay. I'm going to maybe do the letters first, and I don't mind if they get a little discolored, but completely the black part. Okay, just like that. Oops. And that's why I like to seal my things with the glue, like with the Mod Podge and stuff. Let's see here. Alrighty, so let's go in very gently. And this one will be a little discolored, and that's okay. It's alright, it makes it look really grungy and pretty, so it's fine. Everything's okay. It's fine. Okay, just like that. So I'm just sealing it in, and you don't have to do this step. It would be good as it, you know, good as you go. You could spray it if you wanted, but I just like to seal my work so I know that it's gonna last for years to come and it can be enjoyed. Just like that. Now you could leave this art card just like that, but what I like to do is I like to add some 3D kind of embellishment or effect. So I have this little trim, and I just cut out 3 little pieces of it. I got it from the dollar store, and I am going to glue that right in the middle of my butterfly. Okay, and it just gives it just another letter of dimension. Okay, I'm going to bring it in nice and close here, just like that. Okay, and I am going to add that right to there. So let me just grab my tacky glue. This one, yeah, let's use this one. Hopefully it will cooperate with me today. There we go. Well, we can open it up. I am not opposed to opening up things that do not work the way that I want them to work. So we're just going to take it and we just stick the glue right on the back, and we can just add that in. Alrighty, and that is our beautiful art card. Okay, so this is what they look like when they're all done. Now this one, and I forgot to do it for this one, I did add some stamping. So I have this little silicone pot holder that I got, I think I got it on eBay for like $1. Or actually no, I found it at the dollar store and it was super cheap. And I just tucked my waterproof ink and I just stamped it because I thought that it needed just a little bit more texture. So I added that on there, and I really love that pattern. And there are 2 different orientations, but I don't mind that. I kind of did that on purpose. So super fun, very cool. You can make them however you like. And as you can see, this one I should have went over the white a little bit more because it got a little bit transparent. The white is not as striking as this white here, but with that pin, but that's okay. But I really love the way they turned out. So if you would want to be in a drawing for these, then please pick a number between 1 and 300, and whoever gets closest or gets the number without going over will get one of these art cards with a few pieces of Happy Mail. Now for this one with the oil pastel, I did black up here and then purple on the side. So just play around with it, do it however you want. Make sure you check out all the other artists. They're wonderful, and I know that you will find lots of great tips and be inspired by them, and I'm super excited. Now for the back of these, I will paint it with gold paint and I will sign my name. So that'll be kind of the finishing touch that I will include. So I am going to get to work on all these other ones that I need to make. This stack of 4 that I need to work on. And thank you guys so much for joining me. If you are new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of really cool mixed media art and a lot of other stuff too. I have a broad interest, but we have a lot of fun on this channel, and a lot of interaction from other viewers and subscribers, which I am so incredibly thankful to have. And yeah, and most of my videos are in real time because that's what my subscribers want, and I give them what they want. So if you enjoyed that, then definitely hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone, with a friend. I would love that if you could do that. Okay, so I will see you guys next time. Have a fabulous day. Check out the links below for all those other videos, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.